Lindisfarne Monastery was a significant center of learning and Christianity. The monastery was located on the coast. Monks dedicated themselves to illuminating gospels. The scriptorium was the center for gospel production. Monks worked diligently in the scriptorium. Distant shapes emerge on the horizon over the North Sea. These shapes are Viking longships, propelled by wind and oars. The longships are moving towards Lindisfarne. Their swift movement indicates a purposeful and imminent arrival. Longships approach and land on the shores of Lindisfarne beach. Viking warriors disembark from the longships. The warriors are heavily armed for combat. Their weaponry includes axes, swords, and spears. The Vikings prepare to engage in battle after landing. Vikings launched a raid on the Lindisfarne monastery. The raid involved a violent attack on the resident monks. The Vikings engaged in looting treasures from the monastery. Holy sites within the monastery were desecrated during the raid. The Lindisfarne raid marked a significant event in Viking history. Vikings are shown departing from the Lindisfarne coast. The Vikings are carrying plunder, indicating a successful raid. The monastery is left in burning ruins, illustrating the destructive nature of the Viking attack. This event marks a significant moment in early medieval history. The raid highlights the vulnerability of religious centers to Viking incursions. It also signifies the beginning of the Viking Age in Britain. The Lindisfarne raid caused widespread terror and shock across Europe. Scholars documented the profound impact of the Viking attack. The Venerable Bede recorded the events and their significance. Alcuin of York also wrote about the raid's devastating effects. These accounts provide valuable insights into the historical context. Their writings reflect the fear and uncertainty of the time. The Viking longship represents a significant technological advancement in maritime transport. Its design enabled Vikings to navigate open ocean waters effectively. The longship was also capable of traveling up rivers, facilitating inland exploration and trade. This versatility contributed significantly to Viking expansion and influence throughout Scandinavia and beyond. Scandinavian society was characterized by a hierarchical social structure. Petty kings and jarls competed for wealth and power within this structure. Raiding served as a means for young men to acquire status and fame. Success in raiding could elevate a young man's position within Viking society. Scandinavian inheritance laws often disadvantaged younger sons. These laws frequently led to the dispossession of younger sons from family land and wealth. Dispossessed sons often sought alternative means to acquire wealth and status. One common avenue was participation in raiding expeditions abroad. Raiding provided opportunities for wealth accumulation and social advancement for those excluded from inheritance. Anglo-Saxon kingdoms possessed considerable wealth, making them attractive targets. Undefended monasteries represented easily accessible sources of valuables. Similarly, towns lacking strong defenses were vulnerable to attack and plunder. This combination of wealth and vulnerability made them lucrative targets for Viking raids. The Vikings established extensive trade routes across various regions. These routes demonstrate the Vikings' awareness of wealth distribution in different parts of the world. Raiding was, in part, an extension of the Vikings' acquisitive nature. It was a method to quickly obtain resources and wealth. Trade and raiding were thus interconnected aspects of Viking expansion. Both activities contributed to the Vikings' economic and social influence. The Christianization of Scandinavia involves the adoption of Christianity by Scandinavian rulers and populations. This process led to significant cultural and political shifts in the region. Adopting Christianity often meant integrating into the broader European political landscape. Kings played a crucial role in promoting and enforcing the new religious order. Scandinavian society underwent a significant cultural transformation. This transition involved a shift from traditional pagan beliefs to Christian values. Pagan traditions often glorified warrior culture and raiding activities. The adoption of Christian values reduced the incentive for raiding and warfare. During the Scandinavian kingdom consolidation, powerful monarchs emerged. These monarchs centralized power within their respective kingdoms. Centralizing power enabled greater control over territories and resources. A key aspect of their rule was controlling raiding activities. By controlling raids, monarchs stabilized their kingdoms and projected power. The Battle of Stamford Bridge marked a pivotal moment in English history. It involved the English army confronting the invading Viking forces led by Harold Hardrada. The battle resulted in a decisive English victory, ending Hardrada's campaign. This event is often considered the end of the Viking Age in England. The Battle of Hastings was a pivotal conflict in English history. It took place in 1066 between the Norman-French army of William the Conqueror and the English army under King Harold. The battle resulted in a decisive Norman victory. King Harold was killed, leading to the collapse of Anglo-Saxon rule. William the Conqueror then claimed the English throne. This event marked the beginning of the Norman era in England, fundamentally changing its culture, language, and governance. Previously vulnerable regions are now exhibiting strengthened defense capabilities. This enhancement makes raiding these areas significantly more challenging. Increased defensive strength directly correlates with higher risks for raiders. The potential profitability of raids in these regions is subsequently reduced. Fortifications deter attacks by increasing the cost and difficulty for aggressors. Effective defense strategies transform formerly easy targets into less attractive options. The integration of Scandinavia into Europe involved a significant transformation of Viking society. Initially known for raiding, Vikings gradually shifted towards trade and settlement. This transition marked a pivotal point in Scandinavian history. It facilitated cultural and economic exchange between Scandinavia and the rest of Europe. This integration ultimately shaped the political and social landscape of both regions. The Viking Age concludes as a longship sails into the distance. This symbolizes the decline of Viking seafaring and raiding activities. The era's end marks a shift in Scandinavian societies. It signifies a transition towards more settled and integrated communities. The scriptorium is now a safe and secure location. This secure environment symbolizes the preservation of knowledge. The scriptorium also represents the preservation of culture. It is a place where important texts and traditions are protected. Viking raids significantly altered coastal landscapes and communities. Pre-raid landscapes featured established settlements and agricultural practices. Raids led to destruction of settlements and disruption of agriculture. Coastal communities experienced long-term social and economic changes. The raids reshaped land use and settlement patterns along the coasts. Museums display artifacts from the Viking Age. These artifacts showcase the material culture of the Vikings. The displays highlight the historical significance of the Viking period. Exhibits emphasize the enduring legacy of Viking society. The Viking Age is a period marked by significant Norse activity. Understanding the Viking Age involves examining the factors contributing to its emergence. It also requires analyzing the elements that eventually led to its decline. These factors encompass a range of social, economic, and environmental influences. Archaeologists are actively excavating a Viking settlement site. The excavation aims to uncover artifacts and structures from the Viking Age. These discoveries provide insights into Viking culture. The findings shed light on their daily life and societal structures. Archaeological methods are used to carefully unearth and document the findings. The research contributes to a deeper understanding of Viking history. Modern Scandinavia is now deeply integrated within Europe. This region has undergone a significant transformation over time. Historically known for its raiders, it has evolved into a region characterized by peace. Scandinavia now represents an area of stability and widespread prosperity.